Alright, so in this video clip I'm going to be showing you how to use software to calculate forecasting using different forecast techniques. In our first example, we have 6 periods of data. If you look at the first two columns, month ending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and this would be example for radio station ratings. And you can see that in month 1 it has a rating of 2.0, month 2 is 2.2, month 3 2.5, in the 4th month it's 1.9, 5th month is 2.3, and 6th month is 2.0. And we're going to use Excel QM to forecast and using different techniques. The first technique we're going to use is the moving average, and if you installed Excel QM, open it, you're going to click on the Excel QM button, and underneath you'll see the modules, and forecasting will be one of them, and you're going to be selecting moving average, which is the first technique we're going to use. And to set up the moving average forecast, you'll be needing the number of past periods of data, and in our example we have 6 periods of data. Okay, and we are doing a 3-month moving average. Okay, so depending on your problem, you may need to change these two settings. Okay, so make sure that you're aware of them and change them as you need to. So after you do the setup, you're going to be given a data table to enter your data, and since you specified 6 periods of data, it's going to give you enough space to enter your data for 6 periods. Okay, and you just enter it, enter the number for each period. And once you finish entering the data for the 6th period, you're going to be seeing the forecast for the following period, which would be period 7. Okay, and you're also going to be seeing the mean absolute deviation, which is one way for us to know how good of a forecast we have using this technique. Now for the second technique we use, it's going to be weighted moving average, and this is used similar to moving average, but if we're giving more weights, okay, to our previous periods. So for example, if once again we have 6 periods of data and we're doing a 3-month moving average, okay, as before. However, this time we are giving different weights. We're going to count our previous month a little differently. Okay, for example, period 1 we give it more weights. Okay, maybe because it's a little bit older, more established, we give it more weights. We give it a weight of 3. Period 2 has a weight of 2, and period 3 has a weight of 1. Okay, so in addition to entering the period data for the 6 periods, you're also going to be entering the weights. Okay, so when you do these problems, make sure that you understand which weight goes where, because that's a very common mistake. And once again, you entered your period data and the weight, you're going to be given the data for the next period. Okay, and also note the mean absolute deviation. Okay, because you may use it as a comparison tool, with the other technique you used. Now, another technique for forecasting, okay, that you're going to find under Excel QM is regression trend analysis. Okay, this is where you plot your data points and try to fit a line through it and use that line as our forecasting tool. And for this particular technique, you only need to specify the number of periods of data you have. Okay, and once again, for our example, it's 6 periods. And for this particular data input, you are given the space to enter your six periods of data. Okay, you can also label your 6 periods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if that's what you want. Some other uses, maybe if you want to label the different years, okay, or maybe different quarters and things like that. Okay, and once you enter your data, you are given the forecast for the 7th period right there, as well as the intercept and the slope for you to write your regression line. Okay, if you remember your algebra, your regression line is y equals mx plus b, okay, where m is the slope and b would be the intercept. And once again, look over to your right in the middle of that table. You're going to see mean absolute deviation. Okay, and you can kind of see how close that is to the actual data. For our second example, for the exponential smoothing, we're going to use another example here. This is lottery ticket sales on the day of a drawing, okay, by the hour. So we look at 4 different hours and we see how many tickets were sold. Okay, so 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon, and 2 p.m. Now, to make that forecast, we're going to go under forecasting and select exponential smoothing. And we have 4 periods of data, so make sure that you put 4 down. And then for exponential smoothing, first of all, you are given the alpha, so make sure that you put your alpha in there. And then you're going to be entering the data you have for the 4 periods. However, for the exponential smoothing, remember you're making forecasts actually after the first period. So look over to the table on the right. Under the forecast column, only the first period of data is actual data, and exponential smoothing will actually try to calculate the forecast starting from the second period on. So you have forecast for period 2, period 3, period 4, as well as the next period. Okay, and once again, you're given the mean absolute deviation for this particular example. And that would be how we use exponential smoothing.